every month I think it's gonna be a small haul, and then I don't know, things just happen. Hi everyone, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is going to be my August book haul. I swear I thought it was going to be small. I have barely bought anything this month. I've just had a lot of like subscription boxes arrive, and then there's been gifted books, and it got out of hand because of course it did. I'm not going to try and like excuse myself. We're used to this by now. Let's just get on to what I hauled in the month of August. So the first book that I got was A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers. This is the sequel to Song for the Wild Built. It's about a tea monk named Sibling Dex and a robot called Mosscap. Basically, robots in this world kind of disappeared for a while to let humans get on with things, and now they've decided to come back and interact, and they have one question, which is, what do you need? And the first one was about Sibling Dex meeting Mosscap and them kind of going on an adventure together. In the second one we have Mosscap kind of interacting with the world a little bit more, and Sibling Dex, they have to kind of guide them around, and it's just about their relationship, and I really enjoyed it. But this is not a review, this is a haul. But yeah, I've already read this one. I managed to get a signed copy from Forbidden Planet as well, which I'm very happy about, because there was a mix up with like the dates of this. Everywhere you looked had a different release date and people got it really early. But happy that I managed to get this copy, because God knows if I'd have got it, if I'd have ordered it from Waterstones, because they're doing great with sending things at the minute. That is a whole other story. But yeah, first book that I hauled. The second book that I got this month was The Darkening by Sunya Mara. This was a subscription box and I can't even remember which one. Fairyloot, apparently. This was the Fairyloot for July. It came late, I remember. I do love this cover. It's got some nice foiling on it. I believe it's a different colour scheme than the regular one is. That's normally how it goes with Fairyloot. We have some lovely sprayed edges as well. Stenciled edges even. I always say sprayed when I mean stenciled. End paper artwork. End paper artwork. We don't have an underdust jacket artwork this time, which is unusual for Fairyloot, but we do have a foiling on the naked hardcover, and it is signed. I cannot remember what this one is about. Let's have a look. Prince Dalka was born for one purpose: protect his home from the storm, a deadly force that surrounds his city and curses everyone it touches. Vesper Vale is the daughter of failed revolutionaries. Since the Queen sentenced her mother to death by the storm, she and her father have been on the run. So when the Queen's soldiers, led by Prince Dalka, catch up to Vesper's father, she will do whatever it takes to save him from sharing her mother's cruel fate. Even arm herself with her father's book of dangerous experimental magic, even infiltrate the prince's elite squad of soldier sorcerers, even cheat her way into his cold heart. But when Vesper learns that there's more to the story than of her mother's death, and that her home is in dire peril, she has little choice: trust a devious prince with her family's secrets, or follow her mother's footsteps into the storm. That actually sounds quite interesting. So I say that about every Fairyloot book though, and do I read any of them? Not really. I'm better at reading Lumcret. Fairyloot, I'm a bit iffy. I'm contemplating cancelling it, but we will see. Anyway, that is not the point of this video. Let's just show you what the next thing I got was. So the next ones I actually got as part of a gift exchange. So I'm in Spoops' Patreon, and she does gift exchanges every couple of months, where basically it's like Secret Santa, and names are drawn out of a computer hat, because it's a website that does it for us, and people buy each other books. And this one was for Camp Spoopathon, which happened earlier on this month, and I'm just trying to find my gift note. I know who it was from, but I'm just trying to find the gift note. There it is. These ones were from Andy, and she said, "Happy camping, hope you make it to Spook Cabin safely," which I did, so thank you for that. But she was very generous and gifted me 3 books. So the first one is The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. This is the second book in the Winter Night trilogy, which is so it's a sequel to Bear and the Nightingale, which I read last year, and I think I might try and read this one like near Christmas time, because it's nice and wintry. It's a fantasy series that is based on Russian folklore. I can't remember the synopsis of it too much, which is not great. I may have to reread the first one as well. I might try and do like the entire trilogy this year instead, but I do remember really enjoying it. It took me a while to get into it, but once I was into it, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't be able to give you a synopsis of this one too much, because it will spoil the first one anyway, so that's my excuse. It's not that I don't remember it. It's just that it will spoil the first one for you. It's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. The next one that Andy got me is one that Lisa is going to be very happy that I now own, and that is Malice by John Gwynne. So I again know very little about this one. I just know that Lisa really loves it, so that's why it was on my wish list. We're going to read the back of this one to you, but it does look is quite long, this synopsis, so bear with me. The banished lands have a violent past where armies of men and giants clashed in battle. An uneasy peace reigns, but now giants stir once more. The very stones weep blood, and there are sightings of gigantic worms. Those who can still read the signs see a prophecy realised. Sorrow will darken the world as angels and demons make it their battlefield. Young Corbin watches enviously as boys become warriors and yearns to join them, determined that he will make his family proud. It is only when everything he knows is threatened as he discovered the true cost of becoming a man. As the kings look to their borders and priests beg answers from the gods, only a chosen few know that the fate of the world will be decided between two champions, the Black Sun and the Bright Star, and with their coming will be a war to end all wars. It's like an epic fantasy type book. I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous of reading it as well. But yeah, I've heard good things. Like I said, I know Lisa loves it, but I have heard good things from other people as well. And eventually I will get around to reading it. So thank you, Andy, for making it more likely that I will read it sooner. And then the last one that Andy bought me is probably the one that I'm most excited about, because I've discovered a love of Greek myth retellings this year, because this one is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. I have read a couple of things like Greek mythology based this year, mainly being things by Madeline Miller, but also like the graphic novel Lore Olympus as well, and also like just listening to the Hades Town soundtrack as well. So I've decided that I have a love for Greek mythology, and this one is a feminist retelling of the ancient Greek myth of Theseus and the Minotaur. It's about the daughters of King Minos, so it says that they grow up hearing the bellows of the Minotaur from the labyrinth, and when Theseus, prince of Athens, arrives in Crete as sacrifice to the beast, Ariadne falls for him, but helping Theseus to beat the monster means betraying her family, and Ariadne knows that in a world ruled by mercurial gods, drawing their attention can cost you everything. Ariadne has heard too many tales of women being punished for the acts of men. She's determined to set her own fate, but will she find herself sacrificed for a lover's ambition? This, now I've just read the synopsis, is making me want to read it even sooner. I'm very excited for this one. Like I said, I am feeling the need to read more Greek myth retellings. If anyone has any recommendations, feel free to send them my way. Next up, we have got the first of the special edition sets that arrived this month, and this one is one that I haven't read yet. It is Scythe, Thunderhead, and The Toll by Neil Shusterman. Let me put these in a way that you can see them properly. They look like this when they're all together. I'm not going to show you each one individually because they're all very similar underneath the dust jacket, but we've got front covers, we've then got pretty sprayed edges. There are end papers on each of them. I do not know who these characters are yet. I have owned Scythe for a while and I just haven't read it yet. Pretty end papers. And then underneath we've got, it says, I am legend, yet every day I wish that I was not. There's a quote on each one, I believe. And then on the back it's got the 10 commandments of being a Scythe, I think. I'm doing a really good job of explaining these. There is also like alternative art underneath the dust jackets. Oh, these lights do not do well with this, but there we go. It's a world where like all disease has been eradicated, so death doesn't really just happen of natural causes. So there are these people called Scythes who have to glean people, which is basically population control, and it is killing people. And it is about some Scythes in training. I think there's 2 of them. I say this every time, I should really check. But it's their story and that is all I know. And I've heard very good things about the series. I know that the ending is quite divisive, but I am still intrigued by it, and I have said that I'll read the first one. I have my own special fancy edition. If I don't like it, I do know someone that wants this series, and if I don't like it, I'll pass it on to them, because at least then I know it's going to someone who will actually enjoy it. But I didn't want to not get it in case I really love it and then missed out on the chance. So I will. The first one is actually on my TBR next month, so I should have more of an idea if I'm keeping it by the end of September. I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but Thunderhead looks like that. It's green. The Toll looks like that, and it's purple. End papers. End papers. The first one, by the way, was signed. The second 2 are digitally signed, I believe. And then for the Toll, we've got end papers. I love that cloak. I know if there's a reason why it lights up, it may be a bad reason, but it looks brighter. And that one. And then on here it says, yesterday you were gods, today you are mortal. Your destiny is my gift to you. Accept it with grace and humility. And we have that design. They are all very, very pretty books. I really hope I like them. The next one is a fun one. This one appeared from my Amazon wish list, and there is a note in it that says, you are a suggested video on my YouTube homepage. I expect to mention in your next haul. Let me know if this is any good. I couldn't decide whether to get it for myself or not. That note is from my sister. Apparently I was recommended to her on her YouTube. So Callie, this is a shout out to you. Thank you for buying me a book. This is so happy for you. I feel very awkward that she found my YouTube channel, but I'm very grateful that she bought me a book. I just put this on my wish list actually after seeing Kayla from Books and Lala read it. It is about a girl who it's about a girl who gets invited to a wedding by, I think it's someone that she's friends with but not that close to, and she gets asked to be maid of honour and she's a bit reluctant to do so, but she goes anyway, and it's when she gets there she starts to think that things are a bit weird about this wedding. It says despite her misgivings, Robin finally says yes, but as the wedding day approaches she gets the feeling that everyone in the bridal party is out to get her, and it seems Ellie is willing to do anything for the perfect day. After all, marriage is about sacrifice. I mean, this sounds like it's about a cult. But I'm intrigued. It's got a burning bouquet on the front of it. I'm very, very intrigued. So yes, thank you, Callie. There's that enough shout outs for you. Thank you. There we go. The next two I got, I've actually still got the price sticker on from the works, so you can see where I got these. I have got the fine print and terms and conditions by Lauren Asher. This is book 1 and 2 in the Dreamland Billionaire series. I think there's going to be 3 in total. Basically, they are adult romances that are kind of inspired by Disney. So you've got 3 brothers who are sort of the heirs to a big fortune from a big company that is basically Disney. But there is an inheritance clause in their grandfather's will that means each of them has to do a certain thing to inherit their part of the money or the company. The first one's about theme park. I don't know what the second one's about exactly. Or it says something about fulfilling his dying wish of his grandfather's dying wish of getting married and having an heir seemed impossible until his assistant volunteered for the job. But they are all just adult romances. It says at the back it's the first in a series of spicy standalone novels featuring 3 billionaire brothers. And there is also a sign on the front that says warning adult content. Pretty sure that's for spiciness. But I'm intrigued. I don't know if I'm going to like these, but I just keep seeing them everywhere, and I don't know why I decided to buy both, but I did. I probably should have just seen if I liked the first one, but it's one of the only things I actually bought for myself this month. And yeah, we'll see. God knows when I'll actually read them, but I feel like they're going to be quite quick reads, so we'll see. And then next we've got one of the things that I'm most excited to have got this month. There's like 2 major things in this haul that I was very excited to receive, this being the first one, and it is this lovely black box, which does not show up very well on camera, but if you see that way, can you see in the light, it says the Nevernight Chronicle, J. Christoph. On this side we've got a Coveri family crest, and it's the same on the other side. And when I take them out of the black box of doom, we have got the Nevernight Chronicle, and it's in this little like case. It looks like a file. I love it. And yeah, let me show you what these are. So I read the entire Nevernight series last year in one weekend. I think it was actually this time last year, it was the end of August, and I loved them so much. So when Litjoy was putting together this set, I had to get it, obviously. They are like faux leather effect, and you're really not going to be able to see this, but on this one we have got a bird, we can see, and on the side it says never flinch. And then we've got beautiful end papers. We've also got a lovely tip-in page of Mia, which is signed by J. Christoph. And speaking of J. Christoph, he has also done annotations throughout the entire book, and there are also other illustrations throughout the entire book as well. It's just a really, really beautiful set. And it carries on with God's Grave. This one, again, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's got eclipse on there, and it says never fear. And I'm not going to show you the artwork like inside this one because spoilers, but we've got end papers and then a different picture of Mia that is signed. There is also annotations in this one, and then last but no means least we have got Dark Dawn, and this one, again, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got Mr. Kindly on it, and it says never forget. And we have got end papers, and then a final Mia tip-in page to get signed. So when you put all 3 of them together, you get never flinch, never fear, never forget. I just love this set. It's so beautiful. And yeah, there's not too much else to say about that. These are possibly some of the most stunning books I own. I won't say prettiest because they're not pretty, like they're a bit gruesome, some of the pictures, but they are just stunning, and I'm very happy that I have them. Although it is a bit of a nightmare to get them in and out of the box because they are heavy. Okay, so we just have a few subscription box books left to talk about. I'm saying this like the last book isn't one of my other favourite things that I've got this month, but we'll get to that in a minute. First up, we have got the YA Fairyloot, which is Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen. I again know nothing about this one. Let's see if I can get you a synopsis. It says, Violet is a prophet and a liar, influencing the royal court with her cleverly phrased and not always true divinations. Honesty is for suckers, like the also not charming Prince Cyrus, who plans to strip Violet of her official role once he's crowned at the end of the summer, unless Violet does something about it. But when the king asks her to falsely prophesy Cyrus's love for an upcoming ball, Violet awakens a dreaded curse, one that will end in either damnation or salvation for the kingdom, all depending on the prince's choice of future bride. Violet faces her own choice, sees control of her destiny no matter the cost, or give in to the ill-fated attraction growing between her and Cyrus. Violet's wits may protect her in the cutthroat court, but they can't change her fate, and as the boundary between hatred and love grows ever thinner with the prince, Violet must untangle a wicked web of deceit to save herself and the kingdom or doom them all. Sounds intriguing, as per usual. Will I ever read it? We don't know. I've heard good things about this one though. I think Tori was reading it recently and enjoyed it. We have got pretty end papers. I believe the first one's Violet and this one's Cyrus. We do not have underdust jacket art. We seem to be getting that less and less, I've noticed, with Fairyloot. We do have naked hardcover art though, and this is my favourite type of naked hardcover art. I know not everyone loves this, but this reminds me of like the House from the Cerulean Sea ones from Illuminate, and I really love those. It has also got a signed book plate when Fairyloot eventually sent me one, because they missed it when they first sent it. And then we've got like ombre sprayed edges as well, which is pretty. So yeah, intrigued by this one, but my next two subscription box books are the ones that we're more excited for. The first one being Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This is Ali Hazelwood's second book, first one being The Love Hypothesis. She writes romances that are set in the world of STEM. I don't know too much about this one. I don't really know what the trope is in this. I think is it like enemies or academic rivals to lovers, maybe? I think that's what it is. It has got a digitally printed signature on there. It's got sprayed edges, but the prettiest thing about this edition is this. I love this. This is matches the copy of The Love Hypothesis that Illuminate did earlier on in the year as well, and yeah, I'm excited to read this. I've heard nothing but good things, mostly from Becca Fowle, but a couple of my other friends have now read it as well, so yeah, excited to read this one. It is on my TBR for September, so I will have thoughts on it soon. And then last but by no means least, the book that you are all sick of hearing me talk about. I have already spoken about it in my wrap up this month because I reread it, but my editions are starting to come in now, so you're going to have to see it in the hauls as well. Basically, I have already hauled a standard edition back in July. We've got one of my special editions now. Another special edition just arrived today, so that's going to be a next month's haul, and I may be getting another edition by the end of the year. But of course we are talking about the one and only Babble by R.F. Kuang. Babble Babel, however you want to pronounce it. This is the Illumicrate edition, so spine looks like the regular one, but then it is in a slipcase, which has got the pretty illustration on, like in all of its glory. It's also slightly foiled, so you can see the little stars are foiled. Turn it all the way around. It is the same on both sides. And then we have got the map of the Tower of Babble, Babel, whatever you want to say. Both pronunciations work, is different depending on where you live. Babble is the American pronunciation, but it works for a joke within the story, which is why I automatically say Babble. I know it should technically be Babel because of where I'm from. France also says it as Babel, so you know, there's so many different versions. But anyway, we have that illustration on there. This is in the book as like a map, as like a diagram of the tower, and it's on the front here. And then we've got some really pretty end papers. It is signed by the author. Mine is actually doubly signed because I took it to a signing with me, and yes, I lowered the value by getting it personalised, but I don't care because I will never sell this. And then the very pretty thing, which you've possibly already seen then when I just showed it, it is the edges, which says, an act of translation is always an act of betrayal. I love it so much. This is, like I said, one of the copies. I got another beautiful one today, and I can't decide which one's my favourite, but you will see that next month. I'm very happy to be having all the pretty versions of this book. Right, so that is everything. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Let me know what your favourite book is that you hauled in the month of August, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye.